Now, it's the last working day of the week for most people, and it's the last time Joy News Interactive will be on air this week. Don't worry, don't be sad. We'll be back on air on Monday. I know. Anyway, my name is Miss G, the Entertainment General, and I'm here to mirror your comments to the rest of the world on your most interactive TV session. Our handle on Facebook and Twitter is Joy News on TV. Keep your comments coming, and like we did last Friday, we would activate phone lines in the course of the show, so you can air your views live. The numbers to call are 0302-211-691 or 0302-211-692. Take note of these numbers because soon you get the opportunity to interact with us live here on TV. Now, the biggest issues this week have been the Delta Force group and its attack. Yes. First, the group attacked the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator. Some members were arrested and arraigned. Yes. And there was drama in the courtroom on Thursday when these suspects were arraigned. Reports indicate that one of the two police officers on duty was heavily pregnant, a reason they were overpowered. Let's read some of your reactions to the story on Facebook. And Amos Nantamba says, someone sat at the studio, okay, and what at all is this nonsense for? So now the police and the religious leaders are no more exist in Ghana. I can't think far. Not surprised though, upon all this jungle behavior, their leaders are promising them places in security offices. The president should bow his head in shame. And Friction says, thank God those who were brought from South Africa to train these rebels some time ago were deported. Who knows, by now these guys must have been holding guns and start driving us from the country. One credit to the past governments. And Nyantechi says, they said the end would justify the means in justification of appointing so many ministers, but I guess the appointment of security minister, security coordinator, security advisor, defense minister, interior minister have done little to help our security. And Intebwa says, I regret not voting for Mahama because at least such stupidity wasn't under his watch. These idiots should have still been on the streets selling and stealing if I hadn't wasted my time to vote for the MPP. And so your reactions on our Facebook page concerning that story on the Vigilante group who attacked the courtroom when they were arraigned yesterday. Now, fresh reports from Kumasi indicate that these men have turned themselves in following a warning by the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, that either they turn themselves in or be smoked out. You have been reacting as well to this on our social media page. Let's get to read your comments once more. And let's see. So that's the story right there. And media in Ghana is being lazy. The same media told us that yesterday 8 of them had been arrested, but today you're telling us that they reported themselves. What's lazy journalism? And judges in Ghana like 2 weeks remand too much. So can't we have one-day final judgment in court? But if you have no say in government, but one-time judgment for you. And Enoch Jamra says, please, not what is wrong, whether perpetuated by the heavily built person or not. We can't simply sit and watch these miscreants go on rampage at all because they help the MPP to power. We all played our part, not for these. And whatever COP Kofi Wachi did to keep the Ashanti region calm should be used. If not, hashtag bring back COP Wachi. Let me take this opportunity to condemn this action of the useless boys named the Delta Forces, a group who stormed the court yesterday to free their irrational partners, that's friends. It's a menace to our democracy dispensation. Let us all come together and condemn this perpetual act that can bring a threat to our democracy, irrespective of our political affiliation. What nonsense. It's a great disgrace to the highest degree to the NPP, who claim they understand democracy better. Please, Mr. President, you promised us that this irresponsible behavior won't happen again, and today, what are we witnessing? I am not a spectator. I am a citizen, remember, and I'm also appealing to the law enforcement agencies to deepen their intelligence units and skill. The police have to expedite actions to substantive issues of national interest, and the court of law should deal with these accused persons expeditiously to serve as an example to the law breakers. Hashtag say no to Delta forces. Hashtag say no to Azoka boys. Hashtag say no to Vanda boys. And the president has lost his respect. Less than a week from a visit to the city, the lawless disciples of the NPP have done it again. What a setup. God help us. Peter says, good, they have turned themselves in. Let the law take its course. No politics in this. And the FIFA says their actions are uncalled for. The party must punish them. They are not above the law. And liar, liar, liar. We saw clips where they were the so-called well-built men amongst the handful. And Anthony says Delta Force, or whatever you call them, this is how it all started in Nigeria, and today we have strong terrorist group. Before you know it, they will be armed, and before you know it, they'll start recruiting members. Next step, they become terrorists. And that's a message from Anthony to us here. And their master has asked them to go back, says Kenneth, and says Fiscal, and Cartoon Network government, says Anani. So once again, your reaction to claims that these folks, the Delta forces, have turned themselves in. All right, so, well, before all this happened, the National Security Minister had been summoned to Parliament, where he said there are no political affiliated vigilante groups to be disbanded, as there are no groups registered as such. The minister was answering a question in Parliament posed by the Member of Parliament for Asawasi on what the ministry is doing to disband political vigilante groups. He said there are no registered political vigilante groups in the country, and for that matter, there are no such groups to be disbanded. End of quote. Now, activities of the pro-NPP and pro-NDC vigilante groups have raised serious concern in the country. The NDC Azoka Boys and the NPP Invisible Forces normally swing to action anytime their party wins power. You have been reacting to this story as well, and once more, we get to read them on Facebook. And this argument is flawed. Okay, so before that, let's take a video on the happening of the story.
The group. But of course, it is not possible that the national security agencies will absorb into the agencies anybody who has a criminal background. Security checks are undertaken, criminal checks are undertaken to make sure that everybody who is employed into the national security system has passed the necessary security and criminal checks. And again, I want to emphasize, we must try not to politicize the security agencies, and we commit ourselves to doing just that. Mr. Speaker, once an incident has been investigated by the police and the law enforcement agencies, and they have determined or established that crime has been committed, the necessary sanctions are applied. In this case, after the investigations, if it is established by the police that some criminal actions did take place, those who were responsible for those actions will certainly be sanctioned in accordance with the laws of the country, and they will not be spared only because they belong to particular political party.
And that was the National Security Minister, Kandapa, answering questions on the floor of Parliament concerning the invisible forces. But at this point, we get to read your comments on Facebook. And Augustine Yeridem says, semantics on political vigilante, politically affiliated, registered as, etc. Rhetorical semantics that is so distant from the reality, and we think this is a this problem will ever be solved. Kai, shaking my head, and Yandiba says, Mr. Minister, kindly stop this arrogance and face the fact. The existence of these groups, whether affiliated to the NDC, MPP, etc., poses threat to our democracy and peace. Sooner or later, they would graduate to rebels. So spare us the shameful act of trying to be smart. If news that the accused Delta Forces members were actually freed at the court today is true, then you should bow down your head in shame, because that will be a heavy dark spot on our democracy and governance. And Madison says, let's pray they develop into, or they don't develop into, a terrorist organization the way they will unleash mayhem on them in the Ashanti region. Lafala, Boko Haram started small like this. MPP, don't forget, you bought these guys. You don't have proof to that. But Jerry Smith says, what a shameful start. People like this are nation wreckers. Instead of admitting what the reality is and addressing appropriately, he is playing childish with it. If the nation was serious, this man will be disqualified. And Makante Matthew says, I'm really disappointed in the minister's statement regarding this lawlessness in the country, and I think the minister should apologize to Ghanaians or resign. And Afun says he should resign immediately for lying to Ghanaians. Is he saying these groups do not exist and act to the interests of political parties? Shaking my head. And Popsin says, in fact, Ghana is joking. These groups will eventually turn against the government someday. That will be the beginning of terrorism in Ghana. And Alex Stacey Smith says, a while ago you found, now you can't find them anymore. And how can you change Ghana? You have not been honest with Ghanaians, and I believe the thumb is not on autopilot. 3 years around the corner, I believe. And so who are those people committing these crimes? Are they ghosts? In any case, if there are no political groups whatsoever, why can't they deal with these criminals? Please, Honorable, some of us have a lot of respect for you, so don't erode it. Don't deal with lawless Ghanaians regardless of which political parties they belong to. The bottom line is, let the law of the country work. So, reactions from you once more on Facebook. At this point, we activate the phone line. So give us a call. The number to call is 0302-211-691 or 0302-211-692. We are ready to receive your calls. Okay, so let's continue with the comments. And hey, he has smoked the thing again. Oh. Okay, so seriously, is the media twisting his tongue, or is the one really talking? At least we showed you the video, so you know that the minister spoke on the floor of Parliament. Yes, I support you, some moments, and says, how can there be those who attack the court are interest groups? We have a very long way to go. Christians are telling lies, Muslims the same thing. Who will rescue us? And Koji says, yo, we here, sir. And adage says, if you go to bed with an itching anus, you surely wake up with fingers smelling. And oh, I see, Palogo and Bobobo groups nicknamed Invisible Forces and Delta Forces. Abi, he's asking, and Enes Ansu says, in fact, this Nana-led MPP will be the most incompetent and weak government that we have ever had. Where are the opinion leaders like Professor, I don't know, who criticized the former government? Where is he? And what is he saying about this newborn government who is leading Ghana into chaos? Witchcraft are no more spiritual but physical. And see, okay, this man member of the competent ruling Ghana. I laugh, ran to my bathroom. And in other news, Delta forces have freed their colleagues in court today. And Adam says, Ken knows something about the group. He wants to destroy the party and the nation. And to think that he chaired the what? Okay, so we have a caller already on the line, and Enoch calling us from Takoradi. Hello, Enoch, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
Very well, thank you. So I'm sure you have something to say about the invisible forces, the Delta forces.
What? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Enoch. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is the minister saying there's no those groups in Ghana?
It says there's no registered group as such.
What is he saying? It was, the one Kadinda Japan said he dared someone to go and prosecute these people and they will see what will happen. What did they say? What did they say? We are not talking about politics here. This will go on. Let it happen now. Today is in the court. Tomorrow it will come to Parliament. When they start striking Parliament House, then we will see where Ghana will be. And I am praying that any time there will be that sort of thing in Parliament House, and police go there, the whole Ghana, the whole nation to stand against it. Whenever those groups strike Parliament House, no policeman will be sent there to protect them. Then, when one is able to escape, we'll come back and tell us things. May God bless Ghana.
Bless you too, Enoch, calling us from Takoradi, speaking about his reaction to the story about the minister saying there is no registered group as Vigilante group, so they cannot be disbanded. So we'll continue reading our messages, but like we said to you earlier, the phone lines are active, so you can join the conversation live on TV here on Joy News Interactive. I have Adam on the phone line, Adam Adiko, calling us from Adenta. So Adam, good morning. Hello, Adam. Can you turn down the volume of your TV sets? I'm getting feedback here. But if you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Adam?
I'm fine.
Let's get your reaction.
Yeah, I think the minister is impotent in the face of what is happening. If it's not sterile, he should act.
Those are very harsh words. If it's not sterile, he should act. That's what's coming from Adam. I'm sure you're done with your submission. Thank you very much, Adam, for speaking to us. And so, like I said, the phone lines are active. You can also call in and share your reactions to the stories that you've heard here on Joy News Interactive. Whilst we wait for your phone call, we'll go ahead to read some more messages. And Boswell in team says, this man is genetically dishonest, and that's what he is saying. Edward Awari says, line of least resistance, and may God help us, says Bubu Gideon. So Della Diaba is on the phone and she's calling us from Anya, Soto Manya. So hello, Della. Good morning, Della. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Yourself?
Very well, thank you. So you can go ahead with your comments.
Yes. In fact, I was really heartbroken yesterday to hear the minister say that he knows of no group registered as a Delta force.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we are joking in this country, and it looks as if there's no leadership. And for me, gradually, this Delta force is snowballing into a terror group, because this is clearly the genesis of terrorism. How could a group like this walk into a court and take over? And nobody from government see nothing wrong with this. I'm sorry. They should come again. And for me, it's high time we started dealing with this issue once and for all. Otherwise, we don't have a future as a country.
Thank you very much, Della, for speaking to us all the way from Anya. So we have Kwesi Ansa from Wages standing by. Hello, Kwesi, how are you doing? Hello, Kwesi, if you can hear me, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. I think that yesterday there was a call by Kodio that the
Kodeo, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, should be appointed, should be voted for by the police themselves, instead of being appointed by the presidency. You see, these groups are a bunch of criminals, and they're supposed to be arrested. But since the IGP is a political appointment, they can't do anything. Their hands are tied because this is a political issue. You see, so I'll add my voice to those that are advocating for IGP being voted for. I think that will solve all these problems.
All right, thank you very much, Kwesi Ansah. Joseph Jido from Gushegu is on the phone line now, and you're live, Joseph. Good morning.
Morning. This is bad. As a country.
Too bad we lost Joseph. Joseph, are you on the line? Okay, so we lost Joseph. So no, we take a break. We're back with some more here on Joy News Interactive. Please stay. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Joy News Interactive live on Joy News on Multi TV, DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 144. My name is Miss G, the Entertainment General. Get interactive with us on Facebook and Twitter as Joy News on TV. Now, would you offer your opponent a job, especially when it's your political opponent? Well, in Tanzania, President John Magufuli has given his political opponent a job, and guess what? The man has accepted the offer. Professor Kitila Nkombo accepted the offer to be Tanzania's permanent secretary in the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, saying he was honored by the gesture. He says, I quote, I saw the statement by the chief secretary a few minutes ago, and I was heading to the lecture room. All I can tell you now is that it is an honor to be appointed the new PS for water and irrigation, he said. So on Joy News Interactive today, we are asking, would you accept an employment offer from your opponents? Let's take your reactions on Facebook. And Salom Nyaku says, profession and emotion may sound alike, but they are two separate things. If it meets your satisfaction and your dislike will not affect your output, then by all means, take the job. Otherwise, leave it. And Insomila says, why not? After all, it's what I get from the work I need, not the dislike I have for the person. I just pretend to be a dead goat and the thing will be okay. Never. No matter how good you deliver, the owner won't appreciate, says Louise. And Bumpy says, yes, you dislike him, but he doesn't dislike you. So take your job and start liking him, period. And Callista says, if I hate you sincerely, I hate you. So there is nothing that will convince me to accept an offer from someone I hate. I'm not a hypocrite, though. And Baden says, of course, I dislike him or her, but he gave me the job because he likes me. So some of your reactions concerning receiving or accepting a job offer from an opponent. That'll be it for today. Have a good weekend. My name is Miss G, the Entertainment General.